We are the Luzon group, and we are tasked to pick three indigenous groups and identify their descriptions, ideas, and contributions. The three indigenous groups that we've picked are Ifugao, Ivatan, and Aita. Let's start with Ifugao.
Descriptions about Ipugao. Ipugao is a tribe of wet rice farmer that live in the mountains of northern Luzon, Philippines. They are Malay ancestry, and their language, like that of their neighbors, is Austronesians Malayo-Polynesians. Yet they have developed a number of cultural traits that distinguish them. The term Ifugao is derived from Ipugo, which means earth people, mortals, or humans. As distinguished from spirits and deities, it also means from the hill, as Pogo means hill. The group is famous of its very complex indigenous religion marked by cosmology that includes hundreds of deities. There are elaborate rituals that accompany personal and social events participated in by choirs of rituals practitioners.
Ideas and contributions. Thus, the Ifugao are world famous for their spectacular rice terraces, especially in Mayayaw and Manawe, where entire mountainsides are sculpted like giant steps. Their world famous irrigated rice terraces system deeply curved. Mountain terraces stone walls that tilt slightly inward at the top of was created using simple technology. Aside from rice, the first stage crop, sweet potatoes, are farmed in numerous quantities on hillside lots and are the impoverished last basic meal. Pigs and hens are also raised for a variety of rites and sacrifice.
For their clothing, kadangyan means the wealthy, display their status in clothes and accessories restricted to their class. For men, an elaborated G-string, a tasseled hip bag, kidney-shaped gold earrings, and a headdress consisting of a turban-like cloth. Hervin skull and water buffalo horns. For women, an elegant skirt, a tasseled belt, golden earrings, for beads, necklaces, strings of white and red beads to secure their long hair, and a little brass statue. Tattoos were also common.
For music, Cordillera peoples plays a wide range of instruments like nose flutes or kaleleng, deep flutes or paldong, whistle flutes or olimong, panpipes or diwas-diwas, buzzer or balingbing, tube cedars or kulitong, half tube percussion or palugug, stamping tube or gongatong, and jew harps or giwong, reflecting the primacy of Chinese over Southeast Asian trade contacts. Gongs or gangsa are flat rather than knobbed. Strokes, slaps, and slide produce the different tones.
For arts, the Ifugao practice metallurgy using the lost wax process, basketry, weaving, and ikat tie-dyeing. Their wood carving traditions are noted for bulol. Cowrie shell-eyed images of male and female gods in fighting positions, weapons ready, or squatting with bows in their outstretched hands. Other noteworthy products are canes with intricately carved handles, polished dining bowls with the side compartment for condiments, chests with handles in the shape of pig heads, and shelves with crocodile snouts and tails work in the design. Today, craftsmen produce objects specifically for tourist tastes: Western, generic Filipino, Chinese, Japanese, example, ashtrays and cell phone holders.
Descriptions of Ivatan. The Ivatan people are an Austronesian ethno-linguistic group native to the Batanes and Babuyan Islands of northernmost Philippines. They are genetically closely related to other ethnic groups in northern Luzon, but also share close linguistic and cultural affinities to the Tao people of Orchid Island in Taiwan. The culture of the Ibatans is partly influenced by the environmental condition of Batanes. Unlike the old type nipa huts common in the Philippines, Ivatans have adopted their now famous stone houses made of coral and limestone designed to protect against the hostile climate. Documents do not show much about the history of the Ivatans, and at present, scholars who study their origins are still unsure as to their exact origin. There is evidence that they might be a surviving group of Christianized people that once resided on the islands that are between Luzon and Taiwan. However, they have considered the close racial resemblance of the Ivatans to the Malays, and the structure of their language could mean they came from other parts of the Philippines.
Ideas and contribution. As their strategy, the Ivatans culture has been largely influenced by the climate of Batanes. Due to severe climatic disruption to their agriculture, Ivatans have developed numerous successful strategies to protect their food supply and way of life. Traditionally, because of frequent typhoons and drought day plants, root crops able to cope with the environment. These crops include yam, sweet potato, taro, garlic, ginger, and onion, as they ensure high chance of survival during our climate condition. The Ibatan study the behavior of animals, sky, color, wind, and clouds to predict the weather. Ibatan as usual gather their animals and they stay in their house. When they see that the cows take shelter from the payaman or communal pasture, and birds taking refuge in the house or in the ground. A pink sky with an orange hue also herald the storm.
For their infrastructures, before Spaniards arrived in the Philippines, Tibatans built their houses from cogon grass. These homes were small, well situated, and designed to protect against strong winds. The Spaniards introduced large-scale production of lime to the Ibatan for the construction of their now famous stone houses. Meter-thick limestone walls are designed to protect against the harsh Batanes environment, which is known as the terminal passage of typhoons in the Philippines.
For clothing, one of the endemic clothing of the Ibatans is the bakul. A bakul is a headgear designed to protect the wearer from the sun and rain. It is made from buyaboy palm fiber. While in the music, Ibatans have three folk song styles: the laji, the kanta, and the kalusan. The laji are the unsent songs that are supposed to be sung when they are merry or just finished work. The kalusan is used sung during work.
Description of the Aitas. The Aitas, pronounced as Aitas, are among the earliest known migrants or inhabitants of the Philippines. Over the years, the majority of their population managed to keep their cultural practices and traditions. But sadly, as one of the indigenous groups thriving in the country, they also face challenges such as displacement, marginalization, and poverty. They live in various parts of the island of Luzon in the Philippines. They are considered to be part of the Negrito ethnic groups and share common physical characteristics of dark skin tones, short statures, curly to afro-textured hair, and a higher frequency of naturally lighter hair color, also called as blondism, relative to the general population. According to historians, the Aitas, also known as Agkas, are Australo-Melanesians. Historical accounts suggest that they are of the same group as those of Aborigines in Australia and Melanesians of Solomon Islands. While they closely resemble physical characteristics such as curly hair and dark-colored skin, it is not clear as to how they arrived in the Philippines.
Ideas and contributions of Aita. For music, the Aita have a musical heritage consisting of various types of agong ensembles. Ensembles composed of large hanging suspended or held boss napgongs which act as drone without any accompanying melodic instrument.
For arts, a traditional form of visual art is body scarification. The Aitas intentionally wound the skin on their back, arms, breast, legs, hands,
scalps and abdomen, and then they irritate the wounds with fire, lime, and other means to form scars. Other decorative disfigurements include the chipping of the teeth. With the use of a file, the Dumagat modify their teeth during late puberty. The teeth are dyed black a few years afterwards.
For their clothing, they wear plain and simple attire. Traditional Aitas who are skilled in weaving and plaiting wear wrap around shirts or bare clothes, or for women and loincloths for men. Today, most Aita who have been in contact with lowlanders have adopted the t-shirts, pants, rubber, sandals, commonly used by the latter.
For medicine, the Aita communities take pride in their use of herbal medicine and their own natural ways of curing the sick. Finding their main source of herbal medicines in their habitat rather than buying costly medicines, emphasizing the mutual relationship with the nature, also has a great attitudinal impact pertaining to sustainability approach and practices in healthcare.
As per tradition, one of the contributions of the Itas in our country is they preserve the cultural tradition during the Spaniards' colonization of Philippines. They are usually scattered in mountain areas. The Spaniards had a hard time introducing Catholicism to their population. They mostly resisted to change, which made it difficult for the Spaniards to colonize their areas. This is also one of the reasons why they were able to preserve their cultural tradition and beliefs through to today.
And for survival, we all note that Aitas is an indigenous people. They are actually among the most skilled when it comes to jungle survival. They are even able to make use of plants as herbal medicine and the most known for craftsmanship and making tools and weapons. Aita communities use different tools in their hunting and gathering activities. Traditional tools include traps, knives, and bow and arrow, other contribution of the Aitas.
And that's all for the three indigenous groups and their descriptions, ideas, and contributions. Thank you for listening.